Hey, soul survivors. I see Debbie is here. Hello to you. Had to run up to the gas station. I already got that thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for that. So, how's it going, Debbie? Yeah, we're going to talk about our mental health, some signs that we might be needing some love and attention. If your eating habits have changed in any way, or your sleep patterns, also our irritability, our ability to function, are we getting the things done that we need to get done? And um, we need to remember to take care of ourselves. A lot of us are hurting and thank you. Oh my gosh, lots of thumbs up. Thank you guys. I had a lot of fun today making a whole bunch of different shorts videos. And when Dog Defender gets in, or is it Lily? I have something to tell you guys. Mia, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too, Mia. And I'm sitting here cooling down. I turned my heat way up. So I just turned it down. Hopefully I don't melt. But yeah, our mental health is important. A lot of times we get so focused on the things that happened and we ruminate and we get angry or sad or depressed and we forget to take care of ourselves. So that's why this love story that we're going to write is going to be about us. No more soap operas. We're going to do our love story. And once we fall back in love with ourselves, it falls into place. It really does. John says, "Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Debbie, reporting as ordered." You're lucky I'm off duty right now. So, yeah, it can be quite draining, the things that we go through. Thank you guys so much for those thumbs up. But, I was doing some research on, is it illegal for people to abuse us like they do? And I'm glad you loved the videos. Thank you so much. And Mia says hello to John. It does say that it is illegal if it is intentionally threatening harm. I know I talked about the intentional infliction of emotional distress, IIED, which is a tort, but a lot of times it's he said, she said. It's really hard to prove those. That is a civil matter, the IIED, but threatening harm. Just like freedom of speech, we can say a lot of things, but if it's to incite violence, it becomes illegal, things like that. But, the damage that they do, um, the broken homes, and that's not illegal. It wasn't illegal for mine to, cancel the wedding 3 weeks before, to try to rehash things and get back together. And I sell everything again for the second time. Like none of that stuff is, we lose a lot. Am I doing okay? Had some bad news yesterday, so I just kind of needed to sign off. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. So thank you for asking. A lot going on. Sometimes we have to deal with certain things, and it's okay to do that. Um, you never know what each day is going to bring. So thank you for asking, Debbie. Um, but there's a lot of loss that we encounter. Yes, thank you. Um, yeah, we had a ice storm, and somebody I know got electrocuted trying to work on the electrical lines. So it kind of sets you back. I started thinking about his family and stuff. So it got a little choked up. John says, I've been working on that idea all day. And sorry. Um, yeah, it is sad, young, and you've been working on that idea all day, had to take a break from it. Yeah, sometimes too, our brains get stuck. Sometimes if we just take a step back, have you guys ever had it where it like magically works as soon as you get back to it? um, and you know, when we go through the trauma that we've been through, we often isolate ourselves too. We start walking away from our friends and our family, and we're so lonely over the person who discarded us or forced us out that we forget. It's so weird how it works. Debbie says we had an ice storm as well. Another 2 days off of school. I haven't been in school since last Thursday. We had Friday was supposed to be a half day, so they just called it a ice day, and then Monday and Tuesday was supposed to be a break, and then we had ice the last 3 days. So today they did it because all the down power lines, and Um, it was a nice break. It was definitely a nice break. Didn't get anywhere near as much done as I had hoped. John says it's bitter cold here and windy. I feel ya. I feel ya. I just went outside to my car. It's not that cold. I mean, it's cold, but um, tolerable. You know. And I know a couple days ago there was ice all over the car. So another 2 days off of school. Yeah. And some parents enjoy that. Others it drives them crazy. And I've been doing a lot of different research on just emotional health. I have some good news. I'm going to be doing I'm in the middle of working on some certifications for hypnosis, also life coaching, and all the different kinds of things, mindfulness. And hey, Josh is here. Yes, Josh, Debbie's nephew. So good to have you here. How are you, Josh? You like going by Josh. Cool. And yeah, so working hard on that. And there's going to be some cool things. I got some ebooks coming out. Kalibi says, Happy Friday, everyone. Hi, Cynthia. Cold, cold here. It's about 33 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Yeah, so just above freezing. And John is saying, Welcome to Josh. Good to have you here. Josh, feel free to join in at any time. If you're struggling with something, let us know. And I'm good. It's good to hear that you're doing okay. We got to be strong, but there are times that, it's okay to cry or take a break. But our mental health is extremely important at any one time. About 20% of the US is struggling with mental illness, and that can be depression. Debbie says, Hey, hey, partner in crime, Josh. So Aunt Debbie says, Hey, Josh says, Hello, and thank you, everyone. Yes. So good to have you. It definitely is. I know you've been trying for a couple days, and I kind of slacked yesterday. I did log in though. Does that count? So, um, as we start healing, we're going to start. Hindsight is 50 50. Hindsight is 2020. Joshua says, Yup. Hi, Auntie Debbie. I was going to ask if you call her Auntie. Love the family love. And Mia says hello to K Flyer. Yes, I like that you call him that. I Yeah, Calibria, I don't have a nickname for you, do I? Mia does. I have lots of nicknames for people. So, um, got to get you one too. I like K Flyer though. I do like that. And lots of love back from Calibri. And, you know, uh, we got to think about these seasons of life. We just went through winter and it's cyclical. Day 12 and counting. I am proud of you. Definitely, definitely proud of you. What's my dog? Hold on. My dog's doing some crazy stuff. So, yeah, Joshua is giving you lots of love and congratulations for that. And how are you feeling with that? That's the main thing. How are we feeling? We go no contact, and sometimes it gets us down, and other times it's empowering. That's a great accomplishment, and you just got to stick to it. You just got to stick to it, even if you're wondering if they got a package, a little delivery. Wink, wink. But that is great. Mia says, "Congrats, Debbie. That's great." Um, it takes one day at a time, and eventually, keep track of it for a while, and eventually, as soon as you're ready, just don't even worry about counting. Just know you made it. Basil, good to have you. I just got hit by a narcissistic mosquito. Greasing Cynthia in chat. Oh, what happened? Oh, is it is it making you itch? Oh, what happened? Oh, that's not good. Debbie says some. Oh, are you saying like a for real mosquito? It's so selfish trying to take your blood. Debbie says some knob texted me from an apartment number this morning and I blocked it. Ooh. App number? There's no T. From an app number this morning. Huh. Yeah, I get irritated with that. I had a possible spam call or whatever. I just don't even answer them anymore. So Debbie says bingo. Yes, block it, block it. We don't need it. Kalibi says, got my regular license plates today, so my car looks normal now. Yes, and how many days have you had it now? 20? I don't know. He just got a really nice new car. I bet you're loving it. That's fantastic. I know what I'm working on right now is trying to get a house. So, uh, trying to figure out what I want to keep, what I don't, and if it's worth it to move. It's about 3 weeks. Okay. So that's pretty close to 20. Pretty close. So are you enjoying it? Are the narcissists jealous? Josh says, and I'm a super empath, just a FYI. So we started talking about that. Being a super empath sometimes can be to our detriment. Um and it was interesting too that there was one lady I was reading a post, and she had stated, that she was a super empath. I'm not saying you're not, but she was saying that I'm a super empath, and she was disagreeing with the post. Can't remember exactly what the title or comment was, but she was disagreeing with it. Like, I don't agree with that. Oh, it was about how super empaths usually gravitate towards more needy people, or like lower energy individuals. And she's like, that's not true. She's like, I'm a super empath and I gravitate towards more um, positive people. It makes me feel good. And it was like, lady, you're feeding off their positivity. That's not being empathetic. That's, in that moment, wanting to take care of yourself and having others lift you up, which is fine, but sometimes being a super empath, Josh, can cause us to give too much of ourselves, to be a people pleaser, and, you know, where we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. So make sure that, people are taking care of you too. Does it ever feel, Joshua, like exhausting, or where it's leaving you empty sometimes? False. And um you mean, let me know what you mean by false. Are you talking about that lady, how she wasn't a super empath? Is that what you mean? Exactly. Okay. Basil says yes, by a harmless blood sucking mosquito. So narcissistic. You were being narcissistic. Sarcastic? LOL. That tiny sting with a little bit of blood loss is far from narcissistic in the mosquito part. Yeah, but if you think about percentage wise, they took 50% of their body weight of your blood. So, poor thing. We'll have a counseling session on that free of charge because I know it must be traumatic. Those can itch. What was it? Was it this year or last year? Um, they were extra itchy. Like, mosquitoes itch, but they were extra itchy. And Debbie says they said hello. It was either one of two people. Either way, they got the point. It was either the narc or Josh's uncle. Oh, Josh. So yes, Josh is a super empath. Okay. So um yes, every day. Way too much of our positive energy. So that's something we can work on. I don't want you feeling drained in life. So I noticed that, Basil. I don't know how to pronounce sarcastic. Sarcastic. It's so funny when I started this channel, typing narcissist is hard to do because it's a narcissistic. So I can relate. Sarcastic. I like it. I like it. So every day. Kaliwi says I'm an empath too. Some of the behavioral corrections that I did was not be a people pleaser and learn to say no without any hesitation. And Josh is agreeing. So um yeah, that gets hard for us, we feel things are undone. We want to save people and help them, and a lot of times too, that's why narcissists love us, is love to use us, is we're people pleasers. They get what they want. They get what they want. And with the narcissist, they start taking advantage of it, and we end up empty. We're not getting our needs or feelings validated. And we do have to say no sometimes. There are times we enable people to use us. So be careful on that. If you're given to a charity or something like that, volunteering, you know, make sure that, um, there's something in it for you. So you're not just a slave, are you having good fellowship with people? It's not always about money, is it something you enjoy? Sometimes it can be great exercise, lifting boxes or doing whatever, but make sure that, um, it adds enjoyment to your life. John says, "Hey, Basil." And John says, "My idea wants to work so bad, Cynthia. I guess I have to take my time." Yeah, sometimes the whole world is into instant gratification a lot of times, and it's hard to take a step back. So sometimes those answers come at when you least expect it. You have to back off sometimes. We have to do that with people too. Josh says, "Sadly, yes, my family, and that's basically my day-to-day feeling." Um, yeah, so I noticed Auntie Debbie had mentioned something about your uncle. Is he the one that's narcissistic? Is he and Josh, I don't know how old you are. Are you still at home? Um, Vassal says, "I know how to spell it, but my keyboard sucks. When I try to type it fast, it jumbles up my lettering arrangement sometimes." I can so relate. And I think I might have a tank top over there. I'm going to melt. Kalibi says, "The male malignant narc tried to trick me in going to the gardens alone with him. I said, nah, I'm busy. Yep, just, nope, can't do it." John says, "I'm still having some issues with text staying. I've researched that YouTube might be doing it. Not sure." Oh, on purpose or like a glitch? Because that's not good. That's not good. Because I know Debbie was having some problems with that before. Basil says, "Hi, John. I've been noticing that sometimes." Oh, you both are saying it? "My YouTube comments get transferred to other videos. That's so awkward." Really? On my channel? That's crazy. And I think I have my tank top. I'm gonna change it to my tank top. Don't look. All right, I can still hear you. Oh, that's not my tank top. Well, I got this one. All right, I'm still talking to you guys. I'm still here. There you go. You can see my leg. 1 second, guys. I turned my heat way too high. I usually wear a tank top under my shirt, but I took it off to do my videos. All right, not what I want to wear, but it'll work. There we go, guys. Thank you. So I don't melt. All right. Oh, so hot. Sorry. Quick little change. There we go. Nobody can tell. Basil says, "Hi, John. I've been noticing that." Huh. John says, "Mine disappeared today. Had to retype them a few times." Oh my goodness. That's crazy. So this is I did my teenage spoiled brat video on this. That's why it's out. Thank goodness. Otherwise it's a sequin dress. Um, you know, it, it feels good to be comfortable how I just changed. It's like a relief and one quick little change and you feel good. And same with, our emotions. Sometimes we just need to change little things that can lead to a lot more enjoyment and comfort in our lives. Basil says, "Not on your channel, but on mainly shorts." Huh. I noticed they're bringing out, I got a couple super thanks put onto my, recent shorts and they weren't always showing up. So I haven't checked if they're on all of them now, but it might be something to do with that. How they brought some more stuff out today. I don't know. Debbie says, for the first time in my life, I don't want to run into the narc. That whole thought scares me. I'm doing great, but I don't want to get sucked in again." And yeah, sometimes that's why staying away can be very helpful. Josh says, "Everyone that shares my last name, sadly." Oh, and I'm 31 with 2 kids and very happily engaged. Well, good for you. Have you set a date yet? You don't have to share it if you don't, I'm not asking you to share the date, but congratulations and 2 kids. Yay. And that's hard though. And Debbie, that's your brother, correct? His uncle. Um, that can be really hard. Who do you turn to? And a lot of times that's why we want to be the opposite of our parents sometimes. What was your mother like, Josh? Was she extra caring? Sometimes we identify with one or the other. Um, kind of said everyone with your last name. I don't know if you mean by blood though. John says, me too. The shorts, a lot of my comments vanished. Interesting. Oh, you're right. Guys, you're right. Cause I had, not that I didn't believe you, but I've seen it on my stuff. I had some where it said I had 4 comments and I go and click on it and there's no comments. And it happened on a lot of videos where I was trying to read and reply and they were gone. And I'm like, what? It was weird. I got a viral comment on a fitness channel. Oh, what did you say? Yeah, sometimes it's like, whoa, that blew up. John says my shorts have been getting a lot of views lately. Good for you. Good for you. And I think right now with that Chinese outer space stuff and how you're doing like the stars and um all that stuff, the aliens and UFOs, that may have been mine, Cynthia, right after I texted the comments disappeared. So yeah, it shows a number, but it doesn't show the comments. Debbie says, no, remember I told you he's my nephew from another mother. Oh, okay. Josh is my brother-in-law's grandson. Okay. All right. Thank you for reminding me. Um, let's see. Okay. Your brother-in-law's grandson. I get it. I get it. Okay. Um, so I'm curious what Josh's mother was like. If that has something to do with why he's so empathetic or if he's he did find a great woman, from what he's saying, and maybe he had a great mother. A lot of times we want to be with somebody who resembles, sometimes even in looks, not necessarily perfect spot on, but tall versus short, heavy versus thin, where sometimes we really relate to our opposite sex parent if you're heterosexual. I don't know how it goes with the other way around. Joshua says, thank you so much. And no, we do not have a date yet because I am in the process of planning her dream wedding because sadly she lost both her parents last year. Ooh, within 6 months of each other. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if there was some underlying cause like COVID or cancer or accident, but sometimes people, especially the elderly, if they can make it over a year after the initial spouse dies, they do pretty good. But that's like a important time, that first year after death. So yeah, people can die from that broken heart syndrome. So yeah, and sometimes too, be aware, Josh, that maybe the wedding can be very difficult for her, not having her, is this her first wedding? Not having her father walk down her down the aisle. I know that's going to be hard for me if I ever get married, having been married because I've gotten screwed over. But um, you know, at first for the longest time, I was hoping that my father would be able to. He was learning how to walk with a prosthetic. Not that I was engaged at that time, but sadly he's gone now too. So something to think about. Not her brother, it's my grandmother's husband. And after my grandmother passed away, I was my grandpa's caretaker. That is part of her family brother-in-law. Okay. I get it. But that's awesome though that you guys are like family, and you are family. John says my neighbor downstairs has still been trying to harass us here, but he's not getting anywhere with it. I just wish you'd give up already. Yeah, you've you've had so many struggles with your neighbors. Is it a large complex? I don't know. I'm in a pretty large complex, but we're pretty spaced out, which is nice. But we still have neighbors. um, Debbie says, I'm not his aunt. He's not my nephew, but we adopted each other. And that's when it's true love, not romantic love, but true love, This works great for us, but we consider ourselves related. And go with it, you know? blood is closer, or I'm sorry, it, it, yeah, blood relations aren't always the closest, you know. That saying isn't always true. Josh says, yes, it's her first wedding, and it was a heartwarming moment when my dad offered. Oh, I like that. Um, yeah, because I was thinking, you know, my brother, or I'm sorry, my dad's brother. Um, it's kind of cool. I was in his wedding as a flower girl, and I'm not engaged or dating, but it'd be kind of neat, you know. John says, yeah, four buildings close together. That makes it more difficult. You know, people need their space. And, um, you know, emotionally, physically, people do need their space. But um, I've been looking too with parenting styles are changing. And it seems like a lot of people hate their parents. And then there's also a lot of people that do love their parents. But sometimes too, generational issues, they're changing the way that people are raising the kids. I can even see it in the schools, the differences on how people handle things. Are we teaching our kids to deal with conflict? You know, are we helping them? Kalibi says, I can empathize, John. I have those dizzed out neighbors. They are irritating at most. My meditations help me a lot to quiet my brain and my emotions. Yeah, meditating can be good. Yoga, things like that. Um, you know, just allow your brain to just free itself. You know, meditating on like redirect. You know, have you guys ever done that ASMR where sounds? You just listen to the sounds and exactly children they are. Yeah, and you know, now we're trying to teach our kids, you know, we give them like different choices, which is good. It helps them learn to make decisions. But this is where it gets tricky is there's not always decisions in life. You know, your boss doesn't say, would you like to do this? Or would you know, there's times and authority, you know, it's a tough balance. We're trying to figure each other out and we haven't. Debbie says, I used to live around crazy neighbors and I'm so happy that I don't have to live with it anymore. And yeah, because it can affect your peace. And when that gets affected, it can affect your sleep, whether you want to go outside, take your garbage out. You know, it starts changing the way you live. You know, you're like, I'm not going grocery shopping. They might see me. And, you know, it alters how you live, you know, and even if they're not talking to you. John says, actually true, children act more adult than they do sometimes. Yeah. And that's true, you know, but that's partially because children are raising themselves now too, um, where they have to, you know, but yeah, sometimes they can act so immature, you know, the narcissist that it's not too far off. Kaliwi says, and these are toddlers in 60 to 70-year-old meat suits. Figure those out. Yeah. Take it to Goodwill. And I know what you mean. Who was it? Was it Lady Gaga? Who was the one who wore a meat suit? Like a legit. Was it Lady Gaga? Has some bacon on your body. Um, yeah, by saying meat suit, you'll hear that a lot of times with narcissists, how they call it a meat suit. It's just, you know, an empty shell. You know, you just have the outside with no true depth to it. But I know Debbie has a celebratory thing going on right now with how many days she's been narc free. Um, but is anybody struggling right now? You know, we can take control over our mind in a sense, but it takes actual effort to rewire it, and it's easier to fall back. So I know Josh has this wonderful wedding coming up, and we want to make sure that you know. When we go into relationships that we don't bring baggage from the past, you know, because that can bring judgment onto other people. Um, And I could tell you something that's really nice. I have a new neighbor. My neighbors are good. I talk about my narc neighbor, but I have a new this little girl. She talks so much. I think she's 8 years old, um, and she brought me a Valentine's sucker today. They just moved in, and she was all excited. She's so I thought it was really sweet. John says, "Congratulations, Jess. Yes, definitely. Um, yeah, we're excited for you. Definitely, definitely a huge celebration." Um, Debbie says something told me the narc would text me this morning, and there it was. You're Mr. No Contact narc? Is that who you're talking about, Debbie? Because I know you said something about like I don't think you used the word spam. Um, he did text you? There's times it's weird. You can have that intuition and it happens. I've had that too. Or sometimes you call people at the same time. It's weird how the vibrations. I was hearing that every word we speak can actually change just a minute little thing on some little star out there that our voices are heard to the universe and beyond because our vibrations do set things off, and even just a little dust particle from our breath or whatever, it's crazy. You think about all the people that had COVID, one little virus and how it just went around the world. So sometimes when you feel insignificant, um think about that virus, how it just spread. And same with the love that we give, that there's an abundance of people. They had that 6 stages of Kevin Bacon. Like, it's amazing how many people we touch in some way. Um, John says you become very intuitive about certain things. Exactly. Kalibi says, it's weird how it works, where you're like, yeah, I can tell. I had that with mine. I knew I'd have a Hoover. I'm like, there's something about today. And yeah, it was weird, you know, doesn't always happen. Other times you're wrong, but um, yeah, sometimes it's pretty precise. Kalibi says, I heard the female narc yelling pizza tonight in the hallway. Well, that's not a bad thing. She's a little too large to have one. Figure that out. LOL. Well, I think she had some. Hmm. Huh. Why? Why shout that out? Was she talking to somebody? Yeah. And Debbie says, yes, but I didn't get excited like I used to get. I just blocked it. Yep. And Did did you block the message or you blocked him? Um, just so we're on the same page of what what you did, because that way we're not checking our phone all the time and keeping tabs. It frees us. Um, Dog says, "I've been here listening as you are on TV, but couldn't get to my phone." Oh, I'm on TV. Hello. I love microphones. They're my favorite. I love them. Only when they're turned on. This one's not turned on, but I love microphones. Walk around my house with my microphone talking to my dog. Kaliwi says it goes to show the female narc was not worried about deadly fats and sugar in that pizza. A lot of times too, though, in all honesty, humans fail on that, but narcs can become more indulgent um, into that instant gratification or not caring or thinking that they're immortal. And Dog says, hi, thumbs up, please. She's my cheerleader. Thumbs up, superstar on the big screen. So Debbie says you blocked that number. Okay. So yeah, good for you. Did you even read the text? Was he kind? A lot of times too, um, they'll just say, what's up? Or hey, and you're like, oh my gosh, I waited 2 weeks or months, and you get, hey, it's like they expect us a lot of times to carry the conversation. You guys are great with those thumbs up. Thank you very much. That definitely keeps me motivated and happy. Yeah, I was a little frustrated this week with YouTube, and it's all good. It works itself out. But I lost 5 subscribers um, this week, and it's like when you try, it's weird how it works. The more you try, the less it works. The part of it is like how they do their algorithm. It's almost every time you post, you lose. It's crazy how that works, and you'll see it on other YouTubers. They say the same thing. What YouTube does is they get rid of any bots or um, any like offending people that lose their accounts, things like that. So it just said hello. Yep, a lot of times, yeah, hello. They just come back like nothing's wrong, and it's like, how much do you really want to talk to me if it's just hello? They're testing the waters. That's why they keep it really short. Just you know, and I made a video too on. I was watching this guy. It was on a like marketing and business, and he was saying, "Don't explain, don't explain." If people are like, "Why do you charge that much?" And if you start talking about why you charge that much for your services, then people will come back and say, "Well, I'm not here to pay your other employees. I know you need an office staff, but I'm trying to hire just you." Or if you're like, it takes 6 hours worth of work to get that prepared, and they're like, it should only take you 4. So when you start explaining it, it gives people um, ways to bargain with you. Um, and can you guys tell me how you guys handled it? A lot of times with me, I always felt like I was explaining myself. Can you please just call because this is how I feel, or it hurts my feelings? Not exactly what I said, but um, I it it gives them too much to you're always nagging, you're always doing this, or um we give them too much. We give them too much information, and they tear it apart. They use it against us. Bassel says, "Strange. 2 of my comments just got deleted here." Yeah, John has been saying that, and was it W too? Somebody else said that some of the comments have been deleted. And I know I posted a bunch of videos, people were responding and commenting, and I go to look at the comments and they're not there. So there's something going on with YouTube right now. So hang in there, Basil. I know that's kind of frustrating. So if they come across, I'll read them. There's probably something going on. You might want to log out and re-log in. I don't know if that'll help. Sometimes it does when I teach online, just re-logging in. But I'm sorry, Bessel, that's happening. You said to Dog Defender, what do you think may be the reason behind that? Let me read it. Debbie says, I told him if he ever wants to talk, he either texts me from his number or that number will be blocked. I kept my word. I forgot about that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you did. It's clicking in that. Yeah, he uses odd apps to contact you, and he's hiding something. You know, and is it even worth pursuing? He's probably with somebody else or shady somehow that he's playing games if he can't even use his phone number. That should be one of the biggest red flags that we don't even need to entertain it. I told you that I only tried one person on Facebook dating, and it was weird because he had to have, I think, for WhatsApp, I think he had to have my phone number to do the WhatsApp. And I said we could just talk through Facebook, and it was so weird. And he also said he was Chinese. I went to China and they had WeChat, which is like Facebook Messenger in a sense. It's a lot more intricate, but I'm like, well, why don't we just talk through WeChat? And he didn't want to do that either. And a lot of Chinese people, they love WeChat. So um, that's a red flag. I don't really know exactly how WhatsApp works, but it gets deleted and kind of protects your identity, things like that. So Yeah, Chinese people would love to have you contact them on WeChat. So, yeah. And he came up with so many different excuses. So good for you. And that's the thing, yeah. And you put those boundaries up, And now what I want you to do is decide if he does contact you on his number, you know, is that smart to entertain it? So think about that because you can always block that number. That's a decision you need to make though. But yeah, good for you keeping your words. Dog says, Basil, hi. And I've had that happen often only on YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. Kalibi says, what irritates me is narcs act as if nothing happened. They ask if they don't do anything to sour the friendship. Yeah, they're in little denial. And it is that childlike state where, you can have a little toddler beating the crap out of you, biting you, pulling your hair, screaming. And if they're old enough, say they hate you. And then they're all snuggles and thank you for the popsicle and I love you. You're the best. They're not like, whoa, I was so out of line. I was so it's not how their mind works. And the narcissist, their mind doesn't work like that either. It is that childlike state, you know. They don't reflect on it. It's like, what are you talking about? Okay, so I did that. What's a big deal? We're living in the present, get over it, is how they look at it. Basil says to Dog Defender, what do you think? I'm sorry. Maybe the reason behind it. Dog says, make sure you have all comments, not just top comments. Talking to me? Um, Good point. I don't know how to do that. And are you telling me to do that? I'm still new to this, guys. Uh, hmm. Let me know. Yes, dog, you can ask a question. Thank you for raising your hand. You guys are always welcome to ask a question, I think. It depends on what it is. Yes, doggy. What would you like to ask me? Debbie says, when I used to say you are hurting my feelings, he would say, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I didn't believe his comment. Mm. Yeah, if he was sorry, did he change it or did he understand how? He used to he used to me going back to my word and I'm not doing yeah, going back on my word. I told him 12 days ago that I was working on getting over him. I'm being very successful once you make that commitment and stick to it. So good for you. Yes. And they're going to be like, "What?" And that's the thing though that I think, like I give you credit. Um, you know, I think that's a healthy way to do it. You told him 12 days ago that I'm working on getting over you. And that hurts somebody. It doesn't feel good when people say it to us too. But I think that's kind. Even though it hurts, I think it's kind to let people know what's up. A lot of times a narcissist doesn't give us the time of day instead of doing what Debbie did, understanding like, look, I don't want you like wondering and being confused. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to tell you what's up. Um, I think that's a healthy way to handle it. A lot of people are like, fuck that. I'm not going to tell them what's up. Just block them. But then you got to be careful that they don't act out of frustrations on that too. Start stalking you. Dog says next to the scissors icon above the multiple lines. Uh huh. um, Hold on. I don't know the scissor icon unless you're talking about the send button. Oh, I see top chat. Okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. I think smart. You're wonderful. You help me so much. I don't know what the scissors icon is. Is that the V that you're talking about? But yes. Huh. Maybe that was my fault before. So to those, I didn't realize that. That's what it meant. Okay. So yes. Um yeah, it should work now, guys. Thank you, dog. And do you have a question or was that uh is it did you have a statement? I do that with the kindergartners all the time. Um, they they always because I let them sometimes, we all have to sit down. We all and they'll say, "Can I?" can I say a question? And I'm like, you mean a statement? So, dog called me out on dates earlier. That was you, wasn't it? I was um, about the footprints. Was that you or Lily? I get you guys mixed up. I don't know why. Two beautiful women. Maybe that's why. Um, I think it's like a deep connection with both of you guys. It's weird. And it says, yes, I got that. Kalibi, I've given up having normal conversations with these narcs. I just avoid the heck-a-doodle out of them. They are not capable of meaningful discussions anyways. Just look at them weird. I'd say, hi and bye. Yeah. We, you know, if they're not going to have a normal conversation, do we need to entertain it? It is okay to just see you later. Basil says, is most of your knowledge on MPD gained by real life experience or researching, reading books about it? And if it's both, then what is the percentage ratio? I'm old. It's 50-50. Oh, I don't even know. 35 years narc abuse. And then who knows about childhood. But yeah, like and mine were, I know we all have extreme cases, but um yeah. Uh we're not all, but I'm certified to teach psychology um through the state of Michigan. I've studied it in college, and um just like the last year and a half, like that's all I do is research mental illness. So even now I'm working on life coaching, which is dealing with, right now I'm learning about the mindset, mindfulness, and journaling, and I'm constantly learning. I even checked into teaching at the university. So real life experiences, and I have a inquisitive mind. I told you guys that my degrees in criminal justice. I've also been to law school. I'm fascinated with criminal law. I used to teach criminal law at Grand Valley State University, and trying to understand criminals, you try to understand their mind as well. So I hope that answers it. And it's it's hard to say. A lot of it is um I talk about the stuff I've been through and the stuff I've read about, but a lot of it is in my mind processing it. You can read, um, but it unfolds in your mind. You can read and read and read. Like for the longest time, I thought, this id, ego, super ego, childhood bullshit is so true. So really reflecting on what makes people do what they do, and even just how I brought up that comment about the super empath, how they said, yeah, um, I go towards positive people. It makes me feel good. And we can take it as, yeah, like that makes sense. Yeah, feels good to be around positive people. But when you start tearing, not tearing apart, but deciphering, dissecting what somebody says, I can do that with you guys too sometimes, where I'm like, I noticed you said it this way. Is there something more to it? So insight in intuitiveness, intuition, all those kind of things. So thank you for that question. And oh yeah, as a lot of it is just even seeing what other people go through. Uh, I also study different languages, and with that, you learn about cultures. Also grew up pretty much in a white neighborhood. We had a couple black people move in, and then we had quite a few Arabics move in, and then um, I went to an all black college where I was the white cheerleader. There was me and like two Asians, and that was it. Just even understanding different cultures, things like that. And what, other people go through when they infiltrate. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't know the correct term. I know one of mine he went to school in a black neighborhood, and he was, usually it's the other way around. He was the minority, and I wonder how that affected him. I know for me at the black school, I didn't mind it, but I know the girls didn't like me. Um, but they felt threatened because I was the only, you know, white person there. But most of them were really, really kind. I never really felt threatened, even though they're like mentioning there's a white cheerleader, like, hey, whitey. But uh, Melissa says, hi, everyone. And Bessel says, hi back to Melissa. How's it going, Melissa? I hope you're having a good day today. Adjacent to the X on the right, to close the center. I wish this was easier to scroll, guys, because it flips so quick. Adjacent to the X on the right to the center is like, yes. Oh, where you might insert a clip of video. Can I do that? You got me confused on the last part. Then on left is a scissor icon, which means a clip. Wait, tell me more about that. Well, you know what I want to learn? Oh, I think you made me happy. Have you ever seen where they had the little clip? This might be what you're trying to help me with. Where if let's say Melissa, how she says hi everyone, where I can bring her hi everyone highlighted pretty much right here. Um Adjacent, I don't see an X though. You guys are helping me. Thank you, helping me grow. There's no X up there for me though. Whoops. Now I gotta scroll up again. Let me. Yeah, you want? I know, John. I was wondering too. You need a call-in button. Darn it! I know. I should just give you my number. I trust you, Debbie. That's so sweet. I'm gonna catch up. And then. Sorry, I wish I didn't have to scroll. I wish it. Okay, so Kalibi says, I've given up having normal conversations. I read that. Let's scroll down a little bit. Sorry, guys. Thanks for your patience. It's like I sit here clicking on stuff, and when I try to scroll, it flies up. But yeah, Melissa, we are so happy to have you here. We got Josh in the room too. You haven't met him yet. And Kalibi saying hi to Melissa. And so is Debbie asking how you are. There's Johnson and all that love. Kissing on the cheek, John, just on the cheek. Dog says, does anyone feel like it is a special group of just us? And because it has been fun size, we are able to connect. But realistically, we want to grow this channel. It feels weird when someone leaves now. I want your channel to grow, but so appreciate the intimacy. And I'm really glad you guys have been sticking it out. We all have lives, you guys are not obligated to join in, but we love having you guys. That is so true. And it is nice. It's nice and intimate. We get to know each other, and we're not lost in, we get heard. And I think that's fantastic. I've been on others where they had the live chats, and you have to wait like 40 minutes for somebody to reply to you, and you get lost in the sea. But yeah, thank you guys for your support. I am hoping the channel does grow. I'd like to do this full time if I could, but then I'm working on a pension. I got 9 more years. So I'd like to retire now, but then I'd give up my pension. So we'll take it at a nice pace. 9 years from now, I'll be retired. How's that? It does feel weird when somebody leaves. It's strange, lack of better word, when in small groups someone leaves. It is like we lost a member. Yeah, because we're starting to connect, and hopefully that's what brings you guys back, is the connection. John says, I've thought about that. I can't hold a conversation with a narc about tech stuff because they won't pay attention for even 3 seconds. I just talk to positive people myself. And we have to remember too, some people, it is over their head. They, you know, people can get frustrated too. There's a lot of people with ADHD where they're like, you know, and even just like with my fabric stuff, you're like I don't connect with it. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, tech stuff is kind of more specialized. I know with my nephew, he is so intelligent. He's into robotics and things like that, and it's like, um, you can have good conversations, but then I want to ask a question, and I'm like, I don't. Do I ask? Does it have a carburetor, or is it like, you're like, okay, is it wood powered? Is there a carburetor that deals with the wood? And it's like, wait, what? Something like that, where you're trying to have these conversations. It's not necessarily that people are even disinterested. They might not know how to converse with it. But yeah, I feel you, John. Debbie says, dog defender. Yes, I feel that same way. All of you help me so much. I'm so grateful. You're doing good, Debbie. Josh will be proud of your auntie. Do you say auntie or auntie? I think you say auntie because you spell the A-N, right? I think you did. Maybe you did. Maybe you did AU. I don't know. Can't remember. That was way back. Uh, Dog says leaves. Oh, I read that. Kalibi, Josh, I'm not saying I'm better off than the narc mentally, but I'd rather save my time and effort talking to reasonable people. Oh, John, you said that to John. I'm sorry. Uh, yeah. And Dog says, oh, W, that is so serious. And Dog, I agree. Oh, Kalibi, you retracted your message. I'm sure you were telling me how wonderful I am. Kalibi says, just my guess on scissors as cut it out. Oh, okay, let's see. All messages are visible. And see, now when I click on stuff, okay, let's see. I'm going to try this. All right, go to channel, pin message. Oh, I'm scared to do this, guys. Can you guys see? Okay, so I pinned this. It's John. I'm starting to get somewhere on the magnetic. Now it hides the rest of the message from me. It's not as easy as I thought. Can you guys see it on? I'm sitting here like I'm teaching. I'm moving my mouse. I think, is that down in here? Can you guys see it? Oh, I'm excited. So maybe I can do it that way and then unpin. Oh, because I liked it when the other people did that. So, know what it means? As a member, we can create a clip. And then can you guys see that? Like down in here. Am I learning? And then, oh, they have the undo thing. They make it easy and then they change it. So unpin. That clicking, does that clicking? I do have a mouse. Maybe I should hook it up. I just have too many wires. So I gotta have this adapter. Let me know. Where does that show up? John says, I'm starting to get somewhere on that magnetic drive system. It's not as easy as I thought. That might be good though, because as I get larger, you guys can also read. We can create a clip. I don't know what you mean by that. How do you create a clip? And then, because this is the thing, I maybe you guys know how to do this. I don't even know the right question to ask to Google it. Let me know where that showed up. You guys got to tell me where it was. But on the shorts, like if you've seen Raw Motivation, sometimes some other ones will do it where they have a little blurb from their channel viewers, and it says what the text is, and then they respond to it. So I need to, here is the message you have been waiting for. Oh, where's my message? Okay, so I don't know. We as a member, we can create a clip. See, I get confused on the term. Are you saying like you clipping out text, or I think of video clips. So sometimes that's what's confusing about the English language is we use one word, and when we don't know the context, that's hard for me to understand when you say we can a text clip or a video clip. Melissa says, so off the subject, God can restore what the enemy had taken from me. Heck yeah, girlfriend. Yes. But you have to let him. You have to let him. And, you have to trust, you know, you have to go all in, and believe that, you know, um, we can't expect God to give us everything if we're not willing to give it back to Him. There was something I was watching earlier, I believe today, about this one guy who was saying, he um, was an atheist and he was struggling. He did go to church, and he felt compelled to, how they'll pray for you. They'll ask you to come down to the pulpit. Is that the right word? And he felt compelled to go down there, and he felt like he was having like a conversation with God, and he's like, show me a sign that you are real, because at this moment I don't believe in you. And he says, if you are, I'll give you my all. I'll give you everything. And he said that God came back and said, I don't want 99.9% of you. He wants all of us, as a whole, our wholeness. So, what do you believe, Melissa? I know you're hesitant to believe it. A lot of times our gut, opens our heart to that. A lot of times that people, after they go through traumas, will come to God. Not every criminal goes to God, but a lot of them, there's a strength in it, there's a change in it. And, um, you have to implement the things that are being taught. You want this great life, and we get all the advice from the Bible, but are we taking it? Just like, I could tell you how to get in shape. Unless you're going to take those steps, it's just listening to me. You know, you have to take the steps, and then you'll see the results. But if you just learn it and not live it, you won't see the results. So you have to trust. And that can be hard because sometimes we're angry, you know. Um and I see you guys. I'll catch up. I'll go a little quicker. Um Basil says, those are some interesting facts on your educational journey, Cynthia. Have you seen Law and Crime Channel on YouTube? They have live court cases on some serious crimes. I've been watching Alex Murdoch. Is that what his name is? Um, I would like that. Oh gosh. Well, yeah, when I first started this channel, I yeah, I went down that YouTube rabbit hole a lot, and I don't know if it was what the name of the channel was. But yeah, the ones I like are the ones that dissect it, on the body language. So as far as my educational journey, that's another, we learned about body language and how to tell when somebody's lying, lie detectors. But yeah, I love studying that too on um why they do what they do. There's some crazy crimes out there. Lots of subscribers too. Yeah, it's growing. 1650 or something right now. But yeah, the more the merrier. We'll see what's going to come. What is it, June 30th? There might be some changes to the way YouTube algorithms work. Dog says, yes, Bess, I'll see it all the time. I have some real favorite specialists in true crime. And auntie. And I don't know how you say it, if it's auntie or auntie. I'll probably say it both ways. Dog says tech is a niche. Do you say niche or niche? As it is important to find those also into the same types of things. Engineers love engineers. Yes. And that is true. They have somebody to talk to. Same with police officers. Love police officers. Vassal says, Dog Defender, could imagine it's educational but scary too sometimes, not for the faint of heart. Yeah, there's some horrendous stories out there, you know. Dog says, Cynthia, here is the message you've been waiting for. Where is it? It's probably down below. Anticipation's killing me. Josh, are you enjoying the chat? Let us know if you're enjoying it. You guys are great with those thumbs up, though. That's appreciated. Debbie says we should start our own narc awareness group on Facebook. I was an admin once. I do have Soul Survivor, or a Soul Survivor. Cynthia, I get confused. I do have a Facebook group, and I have a couple of you guys, but that hasn't really taken off. So my fault for not really working it. It gets confusing. I'm trying not to post it on my personal page, and so it flip flops. And I was in the beginning sharing to Facebook. Would you guys prefer to grow it more on Facebook? I do need to grow that. You guys can help me out. I'll have to. I learned too that I did the links wrong. I think I got to add HTTPS or something. My click through links weren't working, but we that were so nothing cures narcissism. Unfortunately, no. There is no cure for it, but if you think about it, that the way they handle situations um can change the quality of the relationship. So uh this is where it gets tricky. If you think about it, we're not going to be as naggy or as emotional if they treat us the right way. So then they don't have to deal with us being overly sensitive or frustrating them. You know but they need the chaos. They need the chaos. And um it's due to like a boredom, and that boredom is because of the way their brain is wired. So just like kids, eventually they're going to get bored, and that's why they cheat. That's why they do risky behaviors or drink or alcohol or drugs sometimes. But they can have better quality relationships, but that's only going to last for a little bit of time, and then they're going to get bored. Because happiness is not what they grew up with. Or if they're like, yes, we can go to church every Sunday, and yes, you know if you go to basketball with me on Fridays, I'll go to quilting with you on Wednesday, and they're just going to get sick of it. They'll try it for a while and like, this is stupid. I hate. They'll want to still go to basketball, but they won't want to go to the quilting, so they're not going to keep up their end of the bargain. you know um Dog says C for charming, Y for yearning, for knowledge. C-Y. C-Y-N-T-H-A. Debbie says, well, if they get help, they can get better, but there isn't a cure. Yeah, they can get better. And they might start appreciating, they might realize that um there is no perfect life. They uh you know I guess maybe they'll feel like they're settling, I guess, or uh it's a damaged brain, and without the empathy they won't have the connections. And it's hard to understand that, but um just like right now, you can go up to the gas station and talk to a new gas station attendant, and they can be pleasant, and you're like, hey, how's your day going? My day's going good. Have a good day, see you next week. That's about the depth of the relationship. It's sometimes it's cordial, and you're sleeping with them and making babies, and you thinking it's this deep whatever. But are you gonna be just as happy if you go to a different gas station and talk to a different somebody else just says, hey, have a good day, see you next week? Um, You're not going to be longing for that person. You're not going to be missing them. And that's because of the depth of the relationship. That's why they often don't long for the person. They might long for the services, such as sex or status or whatever. John says, everyone has some great ideas. Yes. And yeah, Debbie says, John, when I help others, it helps me too. Very true. And it's, I was saying that, but that's exactly what John said too. Very true, Debbie. And oh, you hit the like button. Oh, you did. Thank you. That definitely helps. Makes it puts a smile on my face. And Melissa says, thank you all for your support. And yeah, we're all here to support you, you know. Dog says, see, you need to hear how amazing your heart is. I see you. I tried to put the descriptive words for each letter in your name, but too much to type. I started seeing that you were doing that. That was sweet. I caught on to the CY. Cynthia. You don't see CY too often. So you're so sweet. I love that. My name's too long. And thank you. That's sweet. Yearning for knowledge. That's true. And I like the charming. That's sweet. And you can continue. I see you. Yes. Thank you. That's so sweet. And Kalibi says, if you've been watching Alex Murdaugh case, a good case of psychopaths and family dysfunctions. And Josh is Debbie's nephew from another mother. You can't, did he? Oh, he's not sus. He might have logged out. He might have logged out. Let me see who is in the chat. Participants. Josh did. Okay, he might have left already. But he was in here. So uh, you'll see him again, I think. So thank you for hitting that like button. Dog Defender says no Facebook for me. I will do Instagram only. Okay, fair enough. And I don't know. I do TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I don't understand Instagram. Doesn't seem. I don't know. What do you guys like better? Do you like TikTok or Instagram? Everybody's doing these dance challenges, and that's about all I see on some of these feeds now. Debbie says my nephew, but I'm guessing he's putting the kids to bed. I love our group, but our own group on Facebook would be great. We could be the admins. Yes. Melissa says I have a new second Facebook account because my first Facebook account got hacked. That's what gets frustrating about Facebook. I don't even know. Are these legit friend requests? So Mia says, Cynthia, if you go to Facebook, will you? No, I'm not going to leave YouTube. I won't leave YouTube. And I promise you that. Unless, I mean, I did say something's happening June 30th. I don't plan on leaving, so don't hold that against me if YouTube crashes. We'll see what happens with the internet coming up. Um, Abby says mine's on privacy because last year the narc tried a smear campaign. Yeah, and a smear campaign is when they're spreading lies. Like if it's something that's true, it's kind of like gossiping. But if it's yeah, if it's can be quite devastating when the things you do aren't even the truth. Debbie says I don't think she'd make any money on Facebook, is what you're saying. Um, Yeah, and it's a lot of work. I put a lot of work into this. I should finally, in 4 more days, be able to cash out. I've been doing this for a year and 2 months, so 14 months, and I will cash out with a check of like $104 for my first check. So it takes a while. Some of those were from donations, so it takes a while. I got some videos where you get 0.003 cents, not even a cent, and it has like 2,000 views. It's crazy. And I can't quite figure it out. Sometimes too, you'll have somewhere you have 30 views and you made, 14 cents. It's like, how does that work? But and I know with the algorithm, I have somewhere it pays. It's only one. It was like 126 per 1,000 views. I got like 3 views on that video. can't remember exactly, but others, my one of my top viewed videos, it's like $4.48 per thousand, so there's this whole algorithm that you'll never know what people are going to pay for your videos. It's all stabs in the dark, but I should have another $100, but bought a green screen. You just put your money right back into it. So Calibi says it's radical acceptance of narcs. That's what and who they are. Don't expect analytical thinking and deep involved discussions unless it's something not related to emotions, you know. Or they can have passions about being pissed off, but yeah, they um don't get into the same kind of conversations. Debbie says on Facebook, oops, it sent too fast. Dog Defender says, okay, I trust you. You better trust me. I trust you too. Kalibi says, Facebook is riddled with narcs. You have to watch your steps around them. Yeah, you can see it too on uh, the comments and the hate. And, yeah. John says, I've used only Facebook because my girlfriend was into it. Hardly use it anymore. And yeah. And my suggestion is, you know, try not to waste too much of your life on it. I know I do. I waste too much of my life looking through it. And that's kind of a sign too, that maybe our mental health needs a little encouragement because it can cause you to be lazy, and some people get depressed. We got to ask ourselves, what are we really getting out of it? Um, look at pictures of your children or nieces and nephews or your sister's page or whatever, but we spend a lot of time on people we don't even know, and um, a lot of it too. You're starting to see people purposely confusing people um, just for the comments. I get ticked off at the BS of the different, like you'll start reading something and click the next page, and then it disappears. So you never get your answer anyways, and all the clickbait that goes on, it just causes extra frustrations. That do we really need that? Doug says Instagram Live is what I'm thinking. IG. I think you mean Instagram Live. Uh, I thought about it. I started checking into, sorry, I think to do that, don't you need a certain amount of subscribers? And I don't have, I got like 50 on each of those. And I think TikTok, unless you can go live, I can't remember if you can. Don't you need like 10,000? We needed 1,000 for Facebook. I think you need 10,000 followers. Um, and I don't know about Instagram. Info gets stolen. Not setting is secret enough. Sorry. Hackers, etc. My narc is a detective who explains the dangers of Facebook to me. Yeah, I know mine was sorry, a state cop, and he doesn't do Facebook at all. Never has. Never. Not once. Um, Dog says, don't look at doing it for money. It will come. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like if I was doing it for money, you think 14 months later without, I still don't have a penny in my pocket from it. It'll cash out in 4 days. But yeah, um, you know, yes, you guys just put it on repeat. We need to play your videos over and over all day long while I'm not home or room to keep you boosted. That'd be nice. If everybody would do that. um, then I'll have $200 next month and I can retire. Dog says it became very political and has been horrible and worse by the day. And this is the only chat you're in. You're very loyal. And I know, it it's nice if you guys do go to other people, I understand it, but it's nice, there is good information out there. You can get different perspectives, but it's so nice having you guys here. I've learned a lot. Just be careful if you do go to other YouTubers, that you don't just trust everything that is said, because I've come across some, not all, some where it's like that's not adding up. That make sure the person who is talking about it isn't coming from a sense of anger. We're all hurt. We are all hurt, but where there's still that animosity and anger, because this one lady, um, I get it, some of her stuff makes sense, but others it's like, whoa, that no, that is you like really angry. And um like her advice is anger filled. And that would be me, if I was anger filled, where I'm like, well, just fuck them, blow their car up. It's like, that's not good advice. It's not good advice. And that's not what she said. She didn't say to blow the car up, but it was like, oh, or just her perspective on it too. You know, um, he came home late and said he was tired. It's like, well, that's not being a narcissist. Maybe he was tired. That's you being a narcissist for not list or narcissistic for not listening to what he was trying to say, that he was tired, or little things like that. So lots of little things. We're all narcissistic in some way. I will catch up for you guys. Cynthia, I can give you tons of better stuff to read and pursue. Um, like what? Yes. Yes, I would love that, dog. Kalibi says the reason why I use Facebook is there are narc abuse support groups and things about my car, keto recipes. Yeah, I get it. Um, I went through, I might have to get something to drink. I don't know what's going on with my throat. Dog says, because you're on my TV, Cynthia, every time you ask me a question, I answer you out loud. My dog looks at me like, oh. You're probably like shaking your head too, or that's awesome. I love that. I answer you out loud. That's so cute. I wish I could hear it. Debbie says, I do listen to a few guys on their videos, but last night heard something that hit home. The narcs take our personalities as their own. No way can that work. But if he took my personality, then he must be awesome by now. Just kidding. And they take on your person. Well, I don't know, Deb. Um, it's kind of a, a, a true statement in a sense. They take our personalities as their own. They take our happiness, and they're happy when we're sad. They like switch it. If we're a go-getter, they can take that from us and undermine us and go after the things that you know we were trying to pursue. Um, you know, it's, but they also take away who we are. So I'd have to hear how that was said by that one person. But yeah, if he took it, he must be awesome. And you got to think about it. We were happy people before, and then we get like really sad or confused, or like they changed us. We're getting back. So I put your videos over and over just to help you. That is sweet. I appreciate that. And you really have helped a lot. I won't go because I'm faithful. Good. And I appreciate that, Debbie. Doug says, oh my gosh, Cynthia, I was just going to say that about careful who you listen to. I stuck with professionals I know have not only knowledge but experience and top in the field. The rest is crazy town. Yep. Not everybody, even, licensed professionals know what they're doing, you really have to find a good match. You have to know who specializes in narcissistic abuse. And John says, that's what happened to me. People have tried to understand and try to steal ideas from me, but they have no idea what they're doing. Yeah. Yep. They're like, oh, I'll just make it. And it's like, Uh, yep. If they would have worked with you or tried to learn from you, but yeah, they often try to steal it. Calibri says, I am taking my narc experience and turning it to positive. Now, I'm glad you brought that up. Now I know that there are crazy bad people out there. Learn from my mistakes. And I do not know the context in which that was. Um, that's okay. uh, um, I think you're talking about when I was talking about being careful. Uh, but as far as taking the experience and turning it positive, um, oh, I think she says, I think you're talking about me. I think she was talking about being faithful to the channel, is what I'm thinking. Um, because she's not with her person. So I don't think she's trying to say that she's trying to stay faithful to him. I think she meant to the channel. I could be wrong. Debbie says, he told me a few times I'm a strong lady. He liked my energy and my crazy personality. And so, yay, Calibri, know when she said the narc and personality. Oh, okay. But I did want to say that, like, I turned my pain into this YouTube channel and I'm helping people. And in a sense, I'm not rich, like I told you guys, but it helps me too. Keeps me busy. It's helping my knowledge, bringing awareness to myself and others. So I turned it positive, you know. And Debbie says, I told him you'll never find another me and I don't need another you. Very true. um, the comment Debbie mentioned. Um, eh, I think that's what you were talking about. But um, what I meant by that statement, Kalibi says, was I don't let hate overtake my outlook in life after the narc. The narcs are instilled in hate, and they can have it. Yep, just misery loves company, but we don't have to stay. we can check out of the party. So that's something we have control over. We don't have to stay involved in it. Sometimes too, some of us are married into it, and that's where it gets difficult. Or living with the person. There's some life changes. But we have to remember, the brain damage that happens. And that's why you start feeling so miserable is your body is telling you it's not safe. And it helps you stay positive. Jinx. Oh, dang it. Somebody say my name. um, yeah, it helps us stay positive. And Dog says, I was agreeing with you, Cynthia, that the context of who said about they take our personalities, the context may help me understand what they meant by that statement. You were confused too. Yeah, okay. Uh, Debbie, you want to explain that a little bit better, how he said about taking your personality? Because, yeah, I did try to go with it, but if you can explain it a little bit better, that might help us. Because it was kind of where you could take it two different ways ish. Um, I wasn't confused. I just sounded it. John says, I agree, Calibri. And there was something I wanted to say about that, though. I don't let hate overtake my outlook. Uh, what was it I wanted to say? Oh, it was, well, it was a good statement. Just give me a like. I promise it was good. It. Um, dang it. Oh, oh gosh, what was it? It was about what Calibri said. Overtaking. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let it go. It'll come back, log back in at 5 a.m. It'll pop in my head. But Oh, I know. Kalibi. What Calibri? Oh, you did answer. Okay. Dog says our girl is missing two thumbs up. Pony up, pony up. Chop chop. Yes, guys, help with that algorithm. Dog says, was it about being positive and not holding? Um, well, I think I was going to ask him what he has done to put it into being positive, like how I started my YouTube channel. Um, onto past. Yeah, and I think that's what I was in my head. John says, "Is it just me, or is Cynthia just getting prettier and prettier?" It's just you. Thank you. I combed my hair today. Doug says, and I've been. I'll tell you what. This is why I haven't had school in a week. There's days it's like, so thank you, Jen. Her beauty is coming from within, and you'll see that too. That you'll start to brighten up. After being funny, Cynthia, but you do look great. Thank you. It's appreciated. But yeah, your inner beauty will start to shine through. I know I had, after the wedding was canceled and I moved back to my parents for a while, I ended up coming back to that town and I went out with a friend. Yeah, you can see me when I'm feeling stressed. Yeah. And you'll see it. Yeah. Um, I'm pretty transparent. Because I still struggle with things, loss of my father. I'm scared about my mother, and I went through COVID and dealing with the kids. Fridays, I probably look more rough because my kindergarten classes. So, um, but I wear an emotion on my face too. Yeah, you can see me. But I went to this bar just to go dancing, and I ran into some girls from beauty school, um, and they were telling me how great I looked. Like they weren't telling me, like I had like a cool style or a cool haircut. They literally commented on like my facial presence. I wear my makeup the same all the time, so it's not like I did this big, fancy, cool eyeshadow. But they could see that I looked. I mean, they said you look better. It's not like they're trying to tell me I'm pretty. They're trying to tell me, basically like a glow up inside. So that was when I was without them, and they said you look better without him. So they mentioned that. Debbie says he likes so many things about me. I heard that narcs in general want our personalities as their own. That's why we feel drained at times. And when we feel like crap, now I understand how he feels. Yeah. And it's almost like a switch, that we're happy and they want to be happy. So they take it from us by making us sad. It's like a switch. And I love kindergarten too. Not with paint, not with scissors. So you will it's 3 in a row. It's 3 in a row. And I love them. I do love them. Miss Schiller, Miss Schiller, Miss Schiller, Miss Schiller, Mrs. Claus. They think I'm Mrs. Claus or Jojo Siwa. I got one little boy. He's like, you can't be Mrs. Claus and Jojo Siwa. My sister said you're Jojo Siwa. um, but yes, I do love them, but it's lots of emotions, lots of emotion. They're all so cute. They are. But if they were all well behaved, it would be amazing. I do have some strong connections with those because you can see some kids are really hurting, and you do need to be a connection for them. Um, we're sometimes we're the only love they get, you know, but they're cute. They are cute. They're so transparent too. Um, the lies that they tell, like I still that one little boy, he's he'll give you a run for your money, but I've gotten to know him where like everything's gonna be a lie. And, no, no, and it's I just have to look at him and we're like look at each other, and then he has this like weird goofy smile. And get up, I caught him in a lie. So it's kind of funny. All you gotta do is do that little look like I'm onto you, and he just loses it. So rock, paper, scissors. Yes. Yes. Yeah, who's gonna all right, ready, dog? Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. What'd you get? Let's do this. The next 2 hours. Ready? We'll do it one more time. See if you win, okay? We'll just have some fun. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Did I get you guys? um, that's the other thing too, is you get to play. You get to play with the kids too. And you make those, you can do rock, paper, scissors to handle situations. We should do that with our narc. You know, are we still getting married or not? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. life's a life's a game sometimes. You just gotta go with it. Yeah. But tomorrow is Saturday. We can do 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if that sounds good to you guys. Seems we have some more of the group at that time. What do you guys think? 9 p.m. sound good to you guys? Because I'm going to get a couple things done, head to bed, and be ready for the morning. And kindergarten is great. So, dog, I will expect you there on Fridays, and I'll just let the principal know. So, lots of love to you guys. I will see you tomorrow. And yes, Melissa, if you're still here, is Melissa still here? Let's see. This should be easy. Okay. All right. Well, Melissa's gone. I was going to talk to her. All right, guys. Lots of love. Hope to see you again. Get some good sleep. Bye, guys.